What's up, y'all? It's your brother Greg once again with another reaction video, man. And it's crazy because my wife, I was just sitting there, my wife was just talking, and she was on TikTok, and this video came up on TikTok, and it was really interesting to me, man. But let's just go ahead and watch it first before I get too deep into it. All right. All right. Let's do it.
Three of the Democrat government shutdown. Senate Democrats, we are now on day 23 of the Democrat government shutdown. Senate Democrats have voted 12 separate times now to keep the government closed. Innocent Americans are suffering every day as a result. More than 500,000 civilian federal employees will miss a full paycheck tomorrow. Thousands of small business loans are going unapproved each month. This means almost $4 billion in capital is being withheld from small businesses across the country. The Democrat shutdown is also causing severe impacts at airports across the country. In one single day this week, the FAA had to issue ground stops impacting flights at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and Hobby Airport. 13,000 air traffic controllers who ensure that we all fly safely are continuing to work without pay. This is egregious and truly sad. Some of them are reportedly being forced to turn to driving for Uber and taking on other second jobs to make ends meet as the Democrats continue to shut down the government. Pilots are calling on Democrats to end this dangerous political game. Senator Chuck Schumer, the leader of the caucus that is refusing to open the government, said, quote, "Every day gets better as the shutdown continues." Ask the air traffic controllers if every day is getting better, Senator Schumer, and they will tell you absolutely not. House Democrat Catherine Clark said, "There are going to be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility seriously, but this is one of the few leverage points that we have." Here is a House Democrat who is admitting that they are using Americans who are suffering as political leverage. And Senator Bernie Sanders said, "If you reopen the government, we lose our leverage." This is pure partisan games. A senior Democrat aide said the party will not end the shutdown, quote, "short of planes falling out of the sky." That is truly a disturbing statement. The Democrats clearly don't care about this suffering. They care about playing political games against President Trump, and this dangerous charade needs to end. We are now on day...
That was a lot. That was a lot. So this, I kind of had an idea already anyways, but that's why you need to be looking at, you need to be doing research, and like at the same time, this is not like really like looking at research, but come on now, like if that is true, that the Democrats, in which I mean I kind of believe it is, but if it's not, okay, but if it is true that the Democrats are the ones that are keeping the shutdown, man, because of, it's not my first time hearing this either. It's not my first time hearing that the Democrats are the ones shutting it down. They kept the shutdown for multiple reasons. They kept the shutdown because the Republicans didn't want to give out insurance to the illegal immigrants or housing for illegal immigrants. And now we hearing that it's a shutdown, and like it's a shutdown for more for more agendas that they have, but you shutting down people's livelihoods. People, you shutting down everything. But you know what's crazy to me though, bruh? If this is true, once again, which I believe it is, but if this is true, you're telling me that everyone who be ready to blame Trump for this, President Trump, and you know I get it all the time when my family found out that I voted for Trump. This past election was my first time actually voting. When they every time something in the government happens, they blame Trump, bro. And that's it's foolish because you don't do enough research, bro. Most of the things that we suffer because of is because of what was pushed by previous presidents like Obama or Biden. Like all these things have been pushed before. So now you got a man that's seeing where, like, because certain things were set up a certain way when the other president was in, you got a man who's shutting things down and making change. But because people don't like change, they don't like difference, they don't like change, point blank. and it's something that's keeping us from going down the rabbit hole. As soon as Trump does something, it's like it's a whole blow up. And I'm not saying Trump is savior, none of that. Because at the end of the day, he does things. He's a man too. He makes mistakes, but a lot of things that he has been shutting down and to do over is because it was like a little fine print. It was a fine print that was going to lead to different disasters. Let's be real. But even with this, so you're telling me like the person said itself, people are going to suffer because they want to keep their leverage, and keeping the government shut down is what gives them leverage. And I'm gonna be real with you people, and this is what we asked for. Like even the people who voted for Trump, certain things that he done is some are positive, some are negative, but that's what we signed up for when we put him in there. And just like the Democrats, whoever voted Democrat Party to be in the House, this is what you have asked for. So now these certain Democrats got certain powers that they can do these things like this. So now you blaming Trump for something that your people that you voted for is doing. It's like be accountable on all aspects. Be accountable, bruh. And it's like it brought me to this verse right here. It's brought me to Hosea chapter 4. Let me go to it real quick. Let me see what it says. Let me go to it real quick. Hosea chapter 4, man. Let's read it real quick, man. This is what it brought me to. Hold on. Excuse me. It brought me to this. It says, God's charge against Israel. You feel me? God's charge against his people. All right. So it says, God charged against Israel. It says, hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. For the Lord brings a charge against the inhabitants of the land. There is no truth or mercy or knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying, killing and stealing, and committing adultery, they break all restraint with bloodshed upon bloodshed. Therefore, the land will mourn, and everyone who dwells there will waste away with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air. Even the fish of the sea will be taken away. Now let no man contend or rebuke another, for your people are like those who contend with the priests. Therefore you shall stumble in the day, the prophet also shall stumble with you in the night, and I will destroy your mother. This is the verse I really was trying to hit on right here. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because you have rejected knowledge. I also will reject you from being priests for me, because you have forgotten the law of your God. But it's really verse 6, my people perish. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because you have rejected knowledge. I will also reject you from the priests for me, because you have forgotten the law of your God. I will also forget your children. The more they increase, the more they sin against me. I will change their glory into shame. And I brought that verse mostly for I brought up those verses in Hosea mostly for verse 6. It says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. But you see how he even says about how it says like the land will mourn. There is no truth or mercy or no knowledge of God in the land. So this land, America, we are suffering from still lies, okay? Lies are still being pushed out, and people are running with those same lies, bro. They don't want to see the truth. They love the darkness. And I'm not sitting here saying that Trump is like, I gotta make this known, because they were run with this, man. I got people to this day calling. This is my homeboy back from where I live, man. He called me. He was like, man, the Republicans crazy for this shutdown. Are we really doing our research on why it's a shutdown? For one, we hearing it's the Democrats who are continuously forcing the shutdown. But we love blaming on the Republicans because of why the president is the head and he's a Republican. So anything that goes on in the government is his fault. But there are levels to this. There are different branches to this. He can't just do anything without people signing off on it first. And obviously, they can't come into an agreement, so it's still shut down because, guess what? The Democrats want their leverage. They want their leverage. So now the land is mourning And there's a lot of killing going on, and there's a whole lot of stealing going on. How you telling me you can't pay people the money that is owed to them? You are stealing from these people. You are stealing. They're killing and stealing and committing adultery. They break all restraint with bloodshed upon bloodshed. This is gonna cause bloodshed to be shed, bro. People are. We are in a generation where crashing out is the first step. My homeboy was just saying how he gonna crash out cause his job. My same homeboy, he's not being paid right now for his work. And it's probably because of this. So, man, I love you, bro. If you watch this, man, I ain't coming for you. I'm just saying, bruh. This generation is known for crashing out. Instantly. They crashing out about the EBT. And let's be real, some people were taking advantage of government benefits, of government stuff like that, man. People that really need it can't get it because we got people using it for their whole life. They trying to live off of it their whole life without trying to make a like using that resource to be able to build, to pass it on to, no, they want to hog it for themselves, bruh. Like, honestly, me and my family was on those benefits, man. Cause we got a lot of kids, we young, we still coming up. But as soon as I have an opportunity to get them off of it, I will. We're not trying to be on that forever. We thank God for the EBT, we thank God for the WIC, thank God for all that. Building a growing family. And I told my wife the other day, I take full responsibility for not being where we should be with how big our family are. But through the grace and the mercy and the faith in God, we are getting there. You gotta put yourself out. That's why I'm making these videos too now. Doing what God has called me to do. Speak out loud and spare nothing. We ain't sparing nothing. We ain't compromising. So God told me don't compromise my gift when it comes to speaking out about these things, but we are constantly blaming one party when it's the absolute opposite. It's the other party who's constantly pushing this agenda like they want their leverage. And that's crazy because I was like, once again, speaking on verse 6, I remember having a conversation with my dad. He was saying, I said, Dad, why do you vote Democrat? He said, you know why? He said, because, son, that's what we always did. That's what, as the black community, that's what we do. We vote Democrat. And I'm like, wow, ain't it crazy? Ain't Democrats were the one who, it wasn't the Democrat Party who basically wants to be free from slavery. And they're the same one pushing all these agendas that are, let's be real, anti-Christ. They're the ones pushing all these homosexual things, and what else? All these crazy agendas, all the woke agenda. They're the same ones doing all this stuff, but you telling me that we gonna vote Democrat? That's the other day my dad called me, bro. I love my dad. Love you, Dad. You watch this too. He was like once again, he one of the people who called me. The government shut down your president. I'm like, bro, what you mean? I said I stand on who I voted for, because if I voted for that witch, we would have been in a whole different picture. We would have been a whole different thing now. And some things people don't want to see until they got to see the fruit of it. You feel me? So like a lot of things that Trump doing now, people don't agree with it, of course, but you will see the fruit later. And you should be, and no matter who is, at the end of the day, we would say we put him in there, but truly God put him in there. God is the one who ordained kings and rulers, bruh. God put him there for a reason, and we see why. Not saying that he's not going to make mistakes. He will, and he has already, and he will make more. But stay and wait to see the fullness of the fruit that's produced, man. And the thing about it is, like I said, like back my dad, he was saying about we just always did that. And honestly, I'm gonna be real, not coming from my dad, not coming from anybody, but man, God said to have a mustard seed faith, not a mustard seed brain. God said to have a mustard seed faith, not a mustard seed brain. You feel me? We need to be out here looking at researching, researching the things for ourselves. Shout out to my brother JD, man. I was doing it, but he helped me understand that I gotta do it more. Look things up, man, because there's a lot of false news out here. Like I said, if that's real and it's not real, if it's not real, okay. But if it is real, Okay, we need to figure something out, bruh. But let's be real, the fruit of the Democrats is like, it's dry fruit. It's bad fruit. If I just be real, this past election, I don't see how anybody could have voted for the left. Yeah, something that she was putting down would benefit even me. But what's the bigger picture? What's the bigger picture? What is she pushing? They got all these from Biden, all these identity confused people coming into the White House. They getting them the right of way to do whatever they want. We got men playing in women's sports. It was a great deception coming over, which it still is, but it was an even greater, more deception coming over. And I gotta raise my kids in this. If we voted for that witch, bro, it would have been an even more greater. As you can see, this Pride Month wasn't too prideful. Due to what? Who's in the house right now? There's changes. There's fruits being shown. We ain't gotta get in all of that, bro. But I'm just saying, bro. If the Democrats are really out here causing mischief like that because they want to keep leverage, come on, man. Something ain't right. Something is not right, man. Like I said earlier, God told us to have a mustard seed faith, not a mustard seed brain. Man, y'all be blessed, man. I'm out of here. God bless. Was I really on here for an hour, bro? Ain't no way.